Welcome to Bobby Top Adventures. I'm Bobby Top, and I was at the 2025 Touratech Rally-West, and I'm telling you, this year, the Tyee mountain route was the best it's ever been. Okay, now you're going to see a lot of complaints about the Tyee mountain route because the piece that you go for on the Tyee mountain route is the last little leg up to the lookout, and it was a difficult little ride up. It's steep, rocky, tight corners, all the things that everyone's looking for, right? Um, well, that was graded, so it's leveled out for the most part and filled with um, pretty thick, brand new gravel. Definitely not broken in yet. We were sinking and sliding in it, so it was not as challenging that you would like, and so that kind of put a damper on a lot of people's attitudes about the Tyee Mountain route. However, when you see a lot of the full time content creators, stuff like that, they have a busy schedule, and so when they go on the routes like this, they want to go to Tyee. They just get there, right, and so they'll take some back roads, but for the most part, they're taking the road up to take that fun part of Tyee so that they can get that out of the way. They ride different bikes all the time, and so then they can. It was a known set of difficulty riding this piece of the route, and so when you ride it with this bike, this is how it handled, and then you can compare how another bike handled during with the same conditions. And so when they go year after year of doing different bikes, it gives a good reference point for how that bike is working in those type of conditions. This change kind of screwed that up for a lot of them. So um, it don't it was disappointing for me too, and I wrote it. I was disappointed when I saw it, but the ride itself to and from was a newer route, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Um, but I'll get to that. Um, so Wednesday, I did my normal Touratech, where I go a day early. I camp kind of nearby, and breaks up the timing, allows me to get there early and get set up so that I can go for. Gives me time to get in a smaller ride on Thursday, um, and just kind of kick it off with a little ride. So I got there definitely early. And they did like a little soft opening around 10:30 once things were set up, and so the lines dissipated fairly quickly. There wasn't a lot of people out at the gate waiting, but there were some, and so we got in there, got set up, and then I met and waited, and then David came and a couple of the folks that he rode up with. Not everybody was there just yet, but we got set up, and then we went on a little ride. Um, just on the little local loop. If you've been to the Touratech Rally before, you know the local loop. Or even if you've seen it in other videos, it's the one where people go across the bridge. And you know what I'm talking about, right? So, but again, that route changed too. So the route makers this year went above and beyond. It has all the routes that I rode on that had any kind of change to it, absolutely phenomenal, fun, awesome. For this particular one, the older version of the local loop, there was a lot of two-way traffic, right? So you would go in and do a circle around, and then you got two-way traffic coming out on the dirt, gravel roads and stuff like that too. So a little bit more risk. So they started the loop outside of that, so there was absolutely no double traffic in it. So it was a one-way thing, and where we started from, it kicked it off stellar. As soon as you get off the pavement, it just went, and the loop was phenomenal. You know, obviously the same pieces of that loop, but the new piece of getting up to it, um, outstanding piece of route. So, so here's a little bit of footage of us going through that first little rod. Okay, and Friday, finally got to meet the rest of Los Jabrones, the Oregon crew, dual sporters. They get after it, but I tell you that right now, they really get after it, and it was such a great time, meeting these guys, riding with them, all like-minded folks, just like all of us, right? Just helping each other and just doing what we do, right? So got to meet the rest of them, and then this is where we began our route to Tyee. And I mean, I kind of described it already, right? The route to and from. So if you've been there at a Touratech rally before, um, you know that as part of the route, Sugarloaf is in there. But you come to the road where you take a left, and it's a paved road that goes the majority of the way up to that area, right? So I'll use that as a reference. So from that road, there kind of always has been a little route to the right that comes back up to the road, and then it follows the ridge line back to the road, and then you go up to Tyee. And when you come back, you take the other side of the road down. It comes back to the road, and then you go out, right? So no change there. Absolutely no change there. It's still fun to ride. Um, so no change from that point forward. It was the stuff um, before we got there. So the route to that road and the route to the main Sugarloaf Road, that was all new, and that, like, I don't know how to describe it. The first route, it's very similar to the route to Chumstick. In fact, I thought we might have been on the road to Chumstick, but we weren't. But it's very similar technicality for the route to the main road or to the gas station. And so the ride back. Well, first of all, let's just show you the footage, some of the footage of the ride to, and then we'll go into the ride that everybody sees, that of what they did, of what happened with Chumstick, or what happened with Tyee, with how the road is no longer what it once was. And then we'll get some footage. We'll show you the footage of the route back. The route back to get to Sugarloaf Road. I don't know how they found it. Like, you know how when roads aren't used that much, and you got the grass and stuff in the middle, is a true two track. There was grass on the actual track itself, hiding boulders. I don't know when the last time this road was ridden on. That was it was so much fun, and we had a blast doing it. So let's get started with some of the footage that takes us to Tyee. Yeah. Love it. These trees are hard. Okay, and now here's some footage of what everyone's talking about on Tyee, with the road work that was done to make it not as fun. And now here's some footage of the road back. The most difficult riding, possibly the most difficult riding I've done. Definitely the most fun riding I've done. Um, and it was just stellar. It was so awesome. Enjoy.